G'day YouTube viewer, here we are going out for another practice with riding hood, and I thought it was a good chance to give you a little preview on the Suzuki Address. This is the 110, a lovely little bike, plenty of legroom. That's the first thing that when I picked up one that I noticed about this bike, so much legroom compared to a lot of other scooters. You sit up quite high, and it's got reasonable power for 110cc engine. The CB125 in front of me hasn't got as much power as this little one has. The Burgman 200 in front of that does have more, but comparatively this is a much lighter bike, so it keeps up pretty well. Perfect for around town, and just a fantastic little scooter. Just had a very interesting thing happen where I was following them down the highway, so it's riding hood and her brother. First time her brother has come out and had a ride with her, and she's going to switch over to the geared bike, the CB125, in a little while, do another practice on that, and then we're going to go for a ride on a country road together. The Burgman has more power, it's much heavier, but plenty of wind protection, and sits out on the highway much better. This will do 80, 90 okay. You can get it up to 100 if you don't have a headwind, but you get a headwind and you're struggling to get past 80. But still plenty of power for just country roads and things like that. If you're cruising around 60, 70, 80 kilometers an hour, it does it perfectly well. The rear view mirrors, you can see plenty in those, and it's just a fun little bike. I really enjoy riding it. I had to commute on this one to and from a job which was about 15 kilometers away, and it was perfect for that. And late at night, you didn't need to think about changing gears and that after a big long shift, and it does really well. So I would thoroughly recommend the Suzuki Address 110. If you're watching the Australian Grand Prix in 2022 in Melbourne, you may have seen Sebastian Vettel. His car had stopped on the circuit, and he went up to a marshal and convinced him to let him ride his scooter back to the pits, and it was a Suzuki 110. So if you've seen footage of that, this is exactly the same bike. So this is a unique video as well, with riding hood and a brother riding together. I'm actually having a little bit of trouble keeping up with them at the moment, but there is a bit of a headwind. Riding hood forgets how much power that has and doesn't realise how fast she's going sometimes. And when you're keeping up, it's fine, but when you have to accelerate to keep up, she pulls away with the acceleration. So quite often like this, I find I am going at full throttle at 60 to 80 kilometers an hour if there's a big headwind. But it doesn't complain, and once it gets up to speed, it's quite okay. I absolutely love it. I enjoy all my bikes for very different reasons, and this one I love just for the practicality, the ease of use. It's so easy just to hop on and ride. You don't have to think much about it. You don't have to think about it at all, actually. It really is twist and go. And all you need to worry about is the other traffic on the road, which is always a priority to me when I'm riding motorcycles. I'm always looking out with what everyone else is doing. So I'm going to have trouble keeping up with her going up the hill. But she does have a lot more power on that circuit. She made on a little 50, as I've mentioned before, the 50cc scooter. And it hardly got past 60 or 70 kilometers an hour flat out with a tailwind. With her Burgman, she doesn't realise how much power it's got and how hard it is for these little bikes to keep up. It's quite funny from that point of view. But the CB125 is not doing too bad there. He would be pretty sure he would have had his throttle full on going up that hill as well, or if he dropped it down into a lower gear. That's the good thing about geared bikes. You can drop it down, get up the revs, and get up quite well. So this is what we call some small ball fun. Little bikes are so much fun just to ride out together. I could have brought one of the bigger bikes today, but it's more fun if you're all riding bikes roughly the same size, I find. And if we could communicate today, it would be quite hilarious. if we had a drag race, the Burgman would definitely win. We could hop out on the airstrip there, drag from one end to the other, the Burgman would take off quicker and it would accelerate much faster and have a much higher top speed. It can get to 120, 130 kilometers an hour without too much trouble. The CB125, 100 is the top speed I've had it on. I think you could get up to 105, 110. This I've had up to 100, that's the maximum. Just over 100 kilometers an hour, but that was with a tailwind. Without a headwind, yes, you can get there, but I just love the leg room, and the best thing about the Suzuki Address 110 is the fuel economy. 7-litre fuel tank, and you fill it up, and I'm getting well over 200 kilometers. So in today's high fuel prices, that is amazing. Alright, they're getting away from me. I'll accelerate a bit and try and catch up. It's just a slow process to get up to speed when that happens. The thing about that Suzuki Burgman 200, it's so planted. Sits on the road so well. Much smaller tyres, much smaller wheels I should say, but the actual tyre is much thicker and bigger, and so it makes up for the fact that it's got small wheel size with very thick rubber, and so it probably is equivalent of about a 15-inch wheel, but I think they're only 12 or 13s on that, where the CB125 and the Suzuki much thinner tyres, but they're much bigger wheels. But surprisingly, the Burgman does really well on dirt. I've been really amazed like that when I've ridden it on dirt, that it handles it really well. But this little Address is so flickable. That's the one thing I really notice about it more than any other motorcycle I've ever ridden. You can just flick this anywhere. It's so light. It's only just over, I think it's 110 kilograms from memory. Similar weight to the CB125. The Burgman is around 160, I think, by memory. And here she is, the Suzuki Address 110. As I was just mentioning to them, running along the highway, a big branch just fell on me, but it didn't worry it. Kept going. More hit me than anything else, so it doesn't seem to have damaged the bike at all.